So welcome to your relationships reading for mid-March until mid-April 2025. It's going to be general, so please take the bits that resonate and let the rest go. And if none of it resonates, don't take any of it on, okay? So let's welcome in the beautiful archangels, ascended masters, light beings, our spirit guides, and of course our higher selves to assist us with this reading today. Okay, Cancer, let's see what's going to jump out here. As the reading progresses, we'll probably be able to tell if it's, potentially a romantic thing, or if it's, maybe a family or a friend, or maybe even a work colleague or something business related. But, it could, mostly be either or. Wow. Okay. So this could be anything, couldn't it? Could be partner, could be business, could be work related. Friend or whatever. So the devil usually is in these readings can be, if it's potentially a partner or potential partner, it can be talking about a sex-based connection, or it might be that there's an element of dysfunction here. Maybe there's an element of addiction. So maybe, when we say relationship addiction, sometimes if the relationship is not, if people aren't happy in the relationship generally, but however they remain there for an extended period and remain unhappy, and, then that can be a form of addiction in some ways, which is kind of like a codependent energy. And it could also represent just hard work. Okay, so, and at some point, relationships do take work and effort, of course, but if it's, really, really hard work and it's a real struggle to kind of even connect or anything like that, then, it's, it's hard work. We'll see how this pans out here. And we might even be able to get some, maybe some guidance from spirit. There might be some nuances. And sometimes with this reading, these readings, it's not that I'm trying to sort of advise you. It can just be that I'm presenting a different perspective, or maybe a couple of things that you may choose then to look into or to explore further, or just a different perspective, okay? So if you're in a situation sort of like this and it's sort of uncomfortable, then, this reading may help, possibly. But of course, it's not going to replace assistance that you could get from a professional who's really experienced in that area, okay? So Cancer, at the moment, you are kind of going through some changes, or I think what you're thinking in terms of this connection is that something needs to change here. And maybe not just one thing needs to change. Maybe there's a few things that need changing from your perspective. The other person here is, I guess, kind of trying to be chilled and relaxed, and maybe they do care about you. Okay, they sort of care for you, or they're trying to be supportive and nurturing in some way. But I feel like at the same time there's some other things sort of going on in the background that they're struggling with as well, that maybe they need to address. Okay. What you're looking for here is I think maybe you're looking for sort of financial, maybe you're working on your finances or working at your job role at the moment, and maybe that's undergoing some change as well. And the other person here is, they're also wondering whether they should be moving away from this connection with you. Okay. Because, I think they are, maybe they're looking for love, and maybe they're not perceiving that it's sort of coming from you, or that they are able to give it to you in a way that you need. This Knight of Cups is actually kind of facing in the other direction, okay? But it could also be that maybe you know, maybe this person has tried to sort of connect with you emotionally, and maybe that's a bit of a struggle for them, and maybe they're just needing to do some more self-care. Okay, that can also be maybe they needing to give themselves a cup here, or give themselves a break. They could be struggling with something else in life that's kind of sapping their energy. Okay, you are going within here to kind of really get in touch with your emotions, especially with regard to this connection here and with regard to this other person. Because, yeah, what you're sort of seeking here is, you know, some degree of emotional fulfillment. And once again, it's sort of looking like, similar to the other side, is that it has this vibe of like, you're not really sure whether you're going to be able to feel this way within this connection. Okay. And I have a feeling that you're working on your financial situation at the moment. Maybe you're kind of planning to move away from this connection, or go through, or maybe change of location or something like that. And yeah, this person, the other person, sorry, is okay. So they've been operating with as much compassion and logic as they can. Okay, but I feel that they connect with you sort of logically, and there's a certain amount of compassion, but at the same time there is some other stresses, or there's something about this that's missing, and maybe it's sort of to do with you know, it could be in the realm of intimacy, but I mean, they have the 9 and 10 of swords here, so there's something that they are wanting to conclude with. Maybe that's the connection with you, but I think this could be something else that's blocking them from sort of opening up and being able to kind of connect with you, possibly on an emotional level. I feel like maybe this person is sort of struggling with emotional expression, is kind of what it's looking like here. There's a lot of sword energy here, okay, which means that they're probably quite logical. Your energy you are in the Emperor at the moment, so maybe you are kind of feeling that you're having to kind of organize things generally. So maybe you feel like you're the manager in the relationship, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It could be that you are trying to manage things, sort things out, but also trying to sort of create something substantial here. We're going to clarify the devil, you know, that when this is to represent the energy of the relationship. We're going to clarify that in a minute. I mean, this could be a codependent thing, and I think that you, Cancer, you are trying to break out of this codependence, because next to the Emperor you have the Queen of Wands here. So this is a very independent energy, and I think you're looking to be this row here, which is the energies that are kind of not running conducive to connecting with this person. It's more like an obstacle, but it could be a necessary obstacle. If this is a codependent connection, you are at the moment, I think, concerned with creating some financial stability here for yourself, so that you can sort of have your own space and be, you know, have the emotional fulfillment that you're looking for, or to create that. Because I don't know that you're necessarily, you may be feeling with the Queen of Cups that you could possibly have emotional fulfillment connection with this person, but at the moment I think you're working on your independence here, okay? And maybe you're going to try to have some time out from this person, because it's looking like, and I think you're almost probably aware that there's some emotional things that they are needing to perhaps work on as well, despite them being you know, nurturing and caring, and maybe they have you know, cared for you, you know, during a phase of the relationship. Maybe there was a time where you needed caring and you needed support, and they provided that, okay? Let's clarify I've got the wrong deck, sorry. We're going to clarify the devil there at the center, just to see if there's any nuances we've missed with that. And, you know, sometimes, I mean, this could be a connection, you know, that you've had for a long time with a person. It could be a family member, it could be a friend, or even a partner, okay? And yeah, because, you know, codependency can happen anywhere, you know, with anyone in our lives. Okay, we've got a couple here. Let's see, they definitely wanted to come out. So we have the Queen of Cups. So maybe you and this other person are doing some emotional work at the moment, but it's going to take intuition and paying attention to how you feel and being able to maybe even express feelings, okay? And also the Three of Pentacles, which is about being creative and collaborative. And maybe it's going to require, you know, just being able to have this fresh energy of like, well, we're kind of going to start again, you know, if that resonates. I'm just going to grab another one off the top here. Ten of Cups. Yeah, so there is potential for this connection to be happy down the track, but it's looking like, I think in order for you and this other person, Cancer, to kind of heal from the codependent patterns of relating and behaving and being together in the relationship, or being, you know, whenever you share time and space. It's sort of like, I think maybe if this other person has been supporting you, maybe you're looking at supporting yourself. And I think this other person is also going to have to do some self-care, you know, and, you know, to, you know, activate their feminine and their masculine towards themselves as well, okay? So there's you know, there could be some positives and long-term potential in this connection for you both. But I feel like with the Queen of Cups especially, it's about nurturing, it's creativity, spirituality, intuition. It's about both you and this other person allowing the other to do what they need to do, and to, I guess, you know, just have patience for one another as well, if that resonates. Let's grab a card for the other person's energy here. Just want something to jump out here. Thanks, Spirit. Okay, right. Well, they've got the King of Cups. So that's really good because, you know, they are obviously compassionate, and they are, you know, able to, you know, they're already two queens here. So perhaps they have been quite feminine. It's almost maybe they've been over caring. So now they're going to have to activate their masculine, okay, and just sort of maybe set some boundaries and do some things for themselves, okay? And yeah, but also allowing you to do things for yourself, okay? So this is very wise, compassionate energy here, okay? If they can activate that within themselves, that's going to be awesome. Let's grab an energy for you now. Okay, well that flipped, and yes, I think we have it bang on here. This is the Nine of Pentacles, so this is your, you know, a certain degree of independence, okay, or maybe a large amount of independence. Maybe there's a phase where you're going to need to, maybe, you know, if that resonates, of course, Cancer, I'm not telling you you have to, but if that resonates, is to really kind of cultivate you know, I guess an independent kind of energy. Maybe you have been reliant on this other person a lot, but they could also have, you know, issues with communicating their emotions and things. And so, you know, there can be difficulties in communication in relationships as well. And it's not necessarily that both people are horrible or they're bad or whatever. It can just be, you know, some differences in relating, differences in personality, perhaps. But also if, you know, and obviously our past comes into that as well. Oh, okay, we've doubled up on the Nine of Cups here, haven't we? We've got two of those in your energy here, Cancer. So, sorry, that's Nine of Pentacles. Sorry, Nine of Cups, and this is Nine of Pentacles, okay? So, yeah, two nines. So you are coming into your mastery, you're coming into some conclusion here, and to create some, a greater level of independence, which sort of sounds like the relationship is kind of coming apart. But I think this, you you know, there's potential here because of this Ten of Cups for things to, you know, have a happy ending here, okay? And even if it's like happily you both go your own ways, okay? Maybe you're just going to hold space for yourselves to develop and still care for each other and all that sort of thing. You know, so you're either going to be happily together or happily apart, whatever, you know, whatever resonates there. And of course, this is not all going to happen in the next month, okay? This is just to kind of bring to the fore some energies that you might even be tossing around that are kind of in the ethers at the moment as well. So I think we'll wrap it up there, Cancer. And yeah, I wish you all the best with this, and I look forward to our next reading. In the meantime, have a great day, great week, and I'll see you again soon.